Lightning struck twice for the Indians yesterday. The offense powered the Tribe to victory in Game 1, while a strong start from Josh Tomlin and a clutch save from an undermanned bullpen led to a doubleheader sweep of the White Sox. Tonight, the Indians try to make it 5 in a row over the Sox as Justin Masterson and John Danks square off for the third time this season. Next on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, it's Indians baseball. Tonight, the Tribe and the White Sox once again. The Indians trying to make it 5 straight wins over their rivals from Chicago. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The Indians are in first place in the American League Central Division. They've won 3 straight, 8 of their last 11. And during that time, Rick, in games decided by 2 runs or less, they're 5-1, which tells you they're getting good pitching and clutch hitting.
Well, it's been a combination of everything. You look at the starting pitchers; they've stepped it up a little bit. They're giving Manny Act a length, and they're making their pitches when they had to. And then when they have to turn it over to the bullpen, guess what? They've been doing their job, it seems like, all year long. When you come in, you get the saves. Yesterday, they got a couple of saves from guys they didn't even expect to get them from. And then the offense is getting the key hits when needed. When you look at the offense, 17 of the 36 runs they've scored in this winning streak of 6 of the last 7 have come in response runs. That's answering after a team scores. Those are very big runs, and you can see the starting pitchers have pitched well. The bullpen has been well all year long.
And let's hope Justin Masterson keep it up. He gets the start tonight for the Indians against John Danks of Chicago.
Well, he had a very good moving fastball in his last start against them and a tight slider for a while. Then they got to him afterwards. He gave up 3 runs in his last start, but this will be the 3rd time he's matched up against John Danks, and they rubbed Danks up in Chicago. A couple of home runs off him. Left-handers are hitting 300 off him, and there's 6 of them in the lineup tonight.
Our Nissan Road Ahead pitching matchup. Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. With a win tonight, the Indians will clinch their 4th consecutive series win. First time they've done that in almost 4 years. We'll be back with all of the play-by-play action coming up next. Tuesday Night Baseball on Sports Time Ohio is brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. Well, it's a beautiful night for baseball in downtown Cleveland. Game time temperature going to be right around 64 degrees as the Indians and the White Sox lock horns yet again. Justin Masterson and the Tribe take the field. And let's have a look at Robin Ventura's starting 9 for Chicago, brought to you. Alejandro De Aza leading it off, then Gordon Beckham, followed by Adam Dunn. Paul Konerko in the cleanup spot. Great career numbers against the Indians. A.J. Pierzynski hits 5th, and Alex Rios. Alexi Ramirez, Diane Viciedo, and Brent Morel.
Take a look at Justin Masterson, the starting pitcher for the Indians, brought to you by MLB.com at Bat12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Follow the Indians everywhere. Masterson will be making his 7th start, his 3rd start against the Chicago White Sox. He's 1-1 against them this year, and every time he has been matched up against John Danks. In his last start, he pitched a good ball game against him. He went 6 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, but he had a good moving fastball in the strike zone, a nice slider. And he walked 5, but also struck out 5. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. It'll be Damon in left, Brantley in center, Chu is in right. It'll be Hanahan at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Kochman at first, Santana behind the plate.
Todd Tishner will call the balls and strikes. The crew chief Larry Vanover is at first, Brian Gorman at second, and Tony Randazzo down at third. Justin Masterson looking for win number 2. The Indians come in having won 3 straight and 6 of their last 7 and 8 of their last 11. The White Sox are really scuffling. They've lost 3 in a row, and Chicago has dropped 11 of their last 14 overall. So Robin Ventura's gang trying to right the ship. Meanwhile, the Indians trying to keep them down and just keep steamrolling along. And the Indians, as I mentioned on our open, trying to win their 4th consecutive series, and they haven't done that since August of 2008.
Well, that's the goal anytime you go into it. And, winning a 4-game series is hard to do, but when you win a doubleheader to open that series up, it certainly does help.
Alejandro De Aza takes a strike to even the count. De Aza 3 for 7 in the series. Masterson misses low for ball 2. And that fastball caught the outside corner to even the count.
Justin has liked pitching at home a little bit better, even though he does not have a win here in his 3 starts. His ERA is at 2.50 compared to 9 on the road.
That's foul the other way. Gordon Beckham waiting on deck, then Adam Dunn due here in the first for Chicago. There's a liner to short, caught by Cabrera, 1 away.
Well, ball hit right on the nose by De Aza, who hit it well, but right into the tracks of Asdrubal. We'll put it away for out number 1.
Gordon Beckham 2 for 8 in the series. The White Sox second baseman leans back, ball 1. That's outside. And there's a liner to the gap in right center. Chu will cut it off. And a 1-out single for Gordon Beckham.
It's a nice approach by Beckham. He gets a fastball. That thing comes back over the middle of the plate. But looking to shoot it to right field, he does a good job. Hits a line drive out there. So the first 2 hitters have hit the ball pretty well.
Adam Dunn 0 for 6 in the series. There's a pop back out of play. However, that 0 for 6 includes one long fly ball to deep center field last night that just missed getting out of here. Brantley made the catch up against the wall right at the yellow line in center field.
Yeah, he hit it so high he never really had to jump. He was just sitting there waiting for it.
Good breaking ball
nice
in there
slider.
for a strike 1 and 2. There's a long fly ball, deep right center. Brantley at the wall, couldn't bring it in. Ball rolls free, and into third goes Beckham. Dunn has a double. Brantley is okay. He went into that wall hard. He had the glove on it, but it just didn't stick.
Well, this one, instead of the one he hit yesterday, it wasn't as high, this ball, and this one was over in right center field more, and that one hit about the yellow line. I'm thinking Michael was just a half a step short getting there before he could make a terrific catch. But he plugs the gap. You see Michael go down. He took a peek where he was. Oh, he had it. No, it hit him in the heel of the glove. I bet he feels, man, I should have caught that ball because it got it before it hit the wall. Deflected off his glove. It'll go as a double. And I'll bet he's upset with himself. There's nothing you can do when it hits you on the heel. You know, when you're running that fast, you hope it goes into the pocket. It did not.
Now Paul Konerko second and third with one out. He chops it to third baseman. Jack Hanahan was looking home, but then goes to first. And they get the out. The White Sox take a 1-0 lead. Konerko gets his 18th RBI on the year.
Well, he might have been able to come home with it, but you didn't want to take the chance. You have to get the out. He was going back on the ball. You see, if he was coming forward, he had to wait for that hop. He thought about it looking in, and then Beckham runs pretty well. You just go ahead and get the out. You give up the run. If his momentum was carrying him to the plate, he would have came home.
A.J. Pierzynski with a runner at second and 2 down. Looks at a ball outside. True to form, though, Paul Konerko in an RBI situation, aggressive early in the count. We have seen him be very patient at times and work the count, but boy, you get him in an RBI situation, he's looking for something early in the count.
Well, and it's going to be a first pitch fastball, and you know, with Masterson, his fastball moves, but he got the job done.
Masterson with the 1-1 to Pierzynski. And just a little bit outside. Swung on and missed. Good slider down and in.
Well, on this homestand, Texas and Chicago 0 for 26 with 2 outs. See if that can continue. Indians pitching have been able to do that very well this homestand.
And there's a base hit to left field. Dunn will be waved home. Damon, his throw cut off. And it's a 2-0 Chicago lead. Damon looked like he had a little trouble getting it out of his glove.
Well, Johnny doesn't throw well, and every team is going to run on him any opportunity that they get. Here's a ball that he gives Pierzynski a little swinging room. The first hit they've given up with 2 outs on the homestand, and it's going to pay dividends because they're going to get a run. He double clutched, couldn't get the ball, and you know his arm is not good at all. So you're going to see teams running. So they get their second run. 2-out base hit. That's just what Chicago was looking for.
Now Alex Rios looks at a ball down low. That snapped an 0 for 26 streak. But the Rangers had the 2-out 3-run homer from Beltre on Saturday. But all in all, they have done a terrific job in that category. But the Sox grabbed the 2-0 lead. Chopper up the middle. Cabrera can't get to it. And Pierzynski stops at second. So already 4 hits allowed by Masterson here in the inning.
That was almost like his first start of the year here against the Chicago White Sox, where they scored big. Or was his second start here. They had a ton of runs in the first inning. They had 3 runs and had a number of hits. Already 4 hits.
Well, you look back at how close Michael Brantley was to making that catch in center field. But he wasn't able to pull it in, and now the Sox have capitalized to take the early 2-0 lead. Alexei Ramirez looks at a strike. And that slider misses. 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Masterson trying to find it here. That's fouled right back. Pierzynski at second with Alex Rios at first. 2 down in the first. Ramirez way up in the front of the batter's box. Fists it right back to Masterson. That gets him out of the inning. White Sox jump on the Tribe for 2 in the top of the first. Indians coming to bat. Two 2-0 in favor of the White Sox. Indians coming to bat here. Tribe starting lineup brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Damon, Kipnis, and Cabrera, Santana, Duncan, and Chu, Brantley, Kochman, and Hanahan.
John Danks, 27-year-old southpaw, is making the start. He is 2-4 and a .651 earned run average. He's 1-3 with an ERA of over 7 over his last 4 starts. And his last start against the Indians gave up 7 runs, a couple of home runs. And the Indians have 6 lefties in the lineup. Danks, a fastball cutter, will throw the changeup. But he's been the guy on the mound that the White Sox score for. His run support, they average him 6 runs a ball game, and they're off to a good start, putting 2 on the board in the first.
Johnny Damon taking a strike. It's 2-1. Damon broke his bat. And Konerko gives Danks a perfect feed for out number 1.
Take a look at that White Sox Home Depot defense this evening. Behind Danks, it's Viciedo in left, the Asa in center, Rios in right, Morel at third, Ramirez at short, Beckham at second, Konerko at first, Perzinski behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Going to bring out Jason Kipnis. Jason 1 for 8 in the first 2 games of the series. And Danks gets ahead with a strike. And the count quickly 0-2. Danks trying to throw a lot of early strikes. 16 walks, 25 strikeouts in his 37 innings coming in. One ball and 2 strikes on Jason Kipnis.
Well, it was Kipnis that hit the triple and the home run off Danks in Chicago. Looked like he's trying to tie him up inside.
2 down. That's going to bring up Asdrubal Cabrera. And there aren't many hotter than him right now. He's hit safely in 7 straight, 16 of his last 18 games. He's bumped his batting average up to .356, 5th best in the American League, behind Derek Jeter, David Ortiz, Josh Hamilton, and Ryan Sweeney. And our league leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. Derek Jeter off to a tremendous start for the Yankees, and David Ortiz, the old guys.
Yeah, a couple of
leading the way.
cagey veterans up there, huh?
Big bouncer to third, Morel. Routine play. The Indians go in a hurry. 2-0 Chicago after 1. Cherry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Chicago with a 2-0 lead as we go to the second inning. And Diane Viciedo leading off, looks at a ball down low. Chop foul. Swing and a miss. And the count 1-2. And Viciedo is out swinging. First strikeout for Masterson, one down here in the second. Let's check in right now with our Katie Witham.
Well, guys, we've talked all season long how much Carlos Santana has improved behind the plate, and the one thing that really stands out is the fact that he's really separated his offense from his defense. Scott Radinsky, the pinching coach, told me earlier what impressed him the most is how much he's improved calling a game, and the fact that he actually takes the time to sit down with him to figure out how a pitcher can be more effective in certain counts, guys.
Thanks, Katie. Well, that's all part of it. I mean, it's not just sitting back there and putting down fingers. You've got to know the hitter. You've got to know your pitcher's strengths, his weaknesses.
That's why the most important thing is a young catcher coming up. Now, remember, he wasn't a catcher in the minor leagues, is that you have to learn how to call a game. And that's why defensively you're more important for your ball club than you are offensively originally when you take charge. And that guy has helped him out a lot.
The 0-2.
But every hitter out there has to do the same, separate their offense and their defense.
The long arm of the law got him right there. Justin Masterson with that gigantic wingspan, able to reach back across his body and take that little tapper and turn it into an easy out.
Look at that ball hit it looked like the lip of the grass out in front between the dirt and the grass and took a hop on him.
Sure did take a funny spin, didn't it?
Yeah, it got inside, so it had that kind of spin. And I think it hit the lip of the grass there.
2 down for Alejandro Diaza. Outside ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. He definitely went around. They're going to have to appeal, but yes, he did. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Masterson trying to set him down 1-2-3 here in the second inning. And the 2-2 pitch. Hard hit ground ball, and it's through. 5th hit of the night for the White Sox. Take a look at our AT&T trivia question tonight. The only pitcher to have a 20-win season for both the White Sox and the Indians. We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. That's off the glove of Santana, but Diaza held at first base. Masterson now 2-0 to Beckham, and Justin
3 of 11 first pitch strikes. You know, he's that ball is moving around on him. He tightened it up. He had great movement in his last start against these guys in the strike zone for strikes, and he threw sliders for strikes.
Sky high pop should get him out of the inning. Kipnis backpedaling, called off by Chu. Inning over. Middle of the second, 2-0 Chicago. Chicago 2, Cleveland nothing. Bottom of the second inning here at Progressive Field. Carlos Santana will lead off against John Danks. Santana 3 out of 7 in the series. And that strike over the outside part of the plate evens the count.
That's what's going to be the key factor for Danks this evening against Indians hitters is command of that fastball. Because that's the pitch he goes to right there, that changeup, especially for the right-handed hitters. His fastball command, he went inside and missed, went outside and hit. And comes back with another changeup. And he can throw the cutters into the right-handers as well.
Well, despite the White Sox struggles, their starting pitchers lead the American League in limiting the opponents to a 219 batting average.
Well, their starters, that's pretty much what they're built on. Their bullpen, I think, has the second fewest innings in the league. And
they already have 3 complete games, 19 quality starts.
He's their best, and he'll be pitching tomorrow for them.
A little bit outside. Full count.
But they are in search of another starter because Chris Sale is now their closer, the one guy that was their second best starter.
And a leadoff walk for the Indians here in inning number 2. And the walk has been kind to the Tribe already this year. Take a look at our injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Rafael Perez starting a long toss throwing program. Grady Sizemore is doing some running and some soft toss in the cage. So that's certainly good news as he makes his way, hopefully, back to the Indians lineup at some point this year. Shelley Duncan takes a strike. Popped up foul. This will get into the seats. Before the ball game today here at Progressive Field, Grady Sizemore doing some light running in the outfield. Just good to see him back on the field.
Well, he's, I'm sure, thrilled to be back and doing something. He has had a long road, hasn't he?
Well, you're not kidding. Oh, 0-2 pitch to Duncan. Hammered foul. Look out, folks. That one hit the facing of the Sweets down the left side. And a perfect ricochet. They didn't even have to move. Yeah, I think for Grady Sizemore, Rick, it's beyond frustration. He's probably dealt with frustration. He's way past all that now.
You know what? Yes, he is. This third straight year where you're rehabbing to try and get back to play again. He's gone through, 5 different surgeries.
Checked, it was inside.
There's only so much you could do because you don't feel, when you're on the disabled list just to begin with, you don't feel a part of the team. But when you've been on it as long as he has, you're right, you're past frustrated. It's like, all right, it's time to go.
The 1-2 fouled over toward the Indians dugout. The 1-2 pitch is fouled out of play. Off the end of the bat, and he broke another cupped end of a bat. Chipped it right off.
Yeah, right off the end. Little change up down the way. Watch it, just at the cupped end of it is going to hit it. And there you see the split.
Yeah, that's not going to work anymore.
Well, it would, but you don't want to hit it there. You got to hit it down around the trademark if you want it to work.
Bottom of the second, leadoff man aboard, and a 1-2 count for Duncan. Danks comes set. Low, 2-2. Shelley Duncan coming up in the clutch last night. After the Indians surrendered a 2-1 lead, Shelley delivered in the bottom of the 8th with the go-ahead RBI double. A little bit outside, full count, good at bat. He's spoiled some pitches, and he's been able to stay disciplined enough to not go chasing. And so this will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. And a line drive, foul, hooked it. A lot of bobbles, butterfingers down that railing down there.
Oh, it was nice. You gave it to the young
very
kid.
Nice.
Little change up down and away. You knew he was going to get it, and still way out in front. Hits that tarp, and everybody tried to one-hand it. They didn't want to set their beer down. Tough to catch at one hand.
Another foul. Look out, man! He almost got the man in blue that time.
He's get arrested. Look at him. He's saying, "You do that again, I'm going to arrest you. I'm going to come up and handcuff you."
He was checking to make sure his gun was still attached to his holster.
Well, I am too. I'm ducking.
Crowd appreciating the battle here. Again, nope, a toss to first instead of a pitch home as Santana's back easily.
Well, that's what you do. You want to take a break. I'm going to throw to first and try and get an easy out before I have to throw a pitch here to Duncan.
Well, he went 3-2 to Santana, 3-2 to Duncan, but this is a 12-pitch at bat. Another foul ball.
Yeah, he is battling him every step of the way.
Duncan stays up here long enough. Everybody down that left field line is going to have a foul ball. Take home with him. Another foul, and he stays alive yet again.
That one might have been ball 4, but I mean, thou shall not pass. He's turning into a Bible hitter now. He's getting after it. Every pitch up there, he's swinging. This one up. Well, it wasn't that
I think it was
far
too
up.
close to take.
But yeah, I agree. I thought it was higher than that.
Another 3-2 pitch. This one's popped up, shallow center. Beckham back and makes the catch. So Danks wins the battle.
I'll tell you what, he made him work, though.
So many times, though, you see a guy with a long at bat, and it's the next guy or the guy after him that prospers from it.
Well, just there early in the game when he fouled off 9 pitches in that at bat. You know, and you can get that count up. Get those starters out of there. Get into that bullpen. He's got to be tired. We had the Shelley Duncan hour in an at bat.
Up and in to Chew for ball 1. You know, I wanted to ask you, when you play a doubleheader, such as the one the Indians went through last night, and you're one of those guys who played both games of the doubleheader, you wake up the next morning, do you notice it?
Yeah, you
runner goes, throw down,
delayed steal,
and he's a dead duck.
That was sort of a delayed steal that I think he might have broke a little too quickly on. But Brzezinski was ready and caught him easily. Let me see. Yeah, you see, he only took one step. You're supposed to, on a delayed steal, you shuffle, and then you take off. You let the ball get past the hitter. He only took his one step, so that wasn't, he did a little too quickly. Watch the one shuffle. One, and he's gone. He should have went shuffle one more time, and then go. That's the element of surprise to the middle infielders.
Right.
Because what they do, once they take their eye off you over there as a base runner, then they're looking at home plate. That's when you sneak on that second shuffle.
Now a 2-2 count. And Chu with a base hit into center field.
It always happens like that, doesn't it?
Sure seems like it.
Good swing there by Chu. Gets the Indians' first hit.
And a 2-out base runner for Michael Brantley.
There's a good breaking ball down and away. Chu stays on it. Well, we'll see what the Indians can do with 2 outs. Chicago did it in the first inning.
But when you play a doubleheader, do you notice the effects the next day when you wake up?
Yeah, your body's sore, a little tight. It takes you a while to get rolling. You don't want to go do a whole lot for a while. I mean, plus it was wet. I mean, it was not just 2 games. It was a long day. You know, they had a half-hour delay and then an hour-and-a-half delay. Oh, my goodness.
Man. How about that? Danks says, look what I found.
Yeah, right into the glove.
Right into the glove it goes, and down go the Tribe. Through 2, Chicago 2, Cleveland nothing. Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Lovely evening here in downtown Cleveland and a 2-0 Chicago lead. Adam Dunn leading off inning number 3. Adam Dunn, a swing and a miss. He crushed one to deep center field. Michael Brantley got back there and had it, but just caught off the heel of his glove, and it sure didn't stick.
And I mean, he knew he was getting close to the wall. He was getting prepared to brace himself hitting that wall, but in turn, it just hit the heel of the glove. Didn't stick.
And now the 2-1 to Dunn.
That's when you dream about catching when you're an outfielder.
Able to lay off. And it's ball 4. Let's check in once again with Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, if you're thinking about bringing your family or your friends to the ballpark, you've got to check out those Flex Packs presented by Discount Drug Mart. You get 10 tickets. You can use them however you want. If I were you, I'd bring them all to the second fireworks show of the year, which is May 18th. Log on Indians.com/perfect10, guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. Paul Konerko chasing after that pitch. Drove in the White Sox first run with an RBI ground out in inning number 1. A ball and a strike. That's grounded foul. Some fancy footwork down there.
Joe McEwing wants to jump out of the way. Well, there's, you know, the hitters pretty much, the guys that you have to be loose and heads up for. Because I'm sure day in and day out, they keep you loose, don't they?
Checked, it was outside and a little bit low. Well, Justin just over 50 pitches now on the night. And inside, full count. .32 pitch, runner goes and hit right out in front of the plate. Santana throws out Konerko. Dunn goes into scoring position, 1 away. Almost worked out like a bunt.
Yeah, look at him off the end of the bat. That upsets him when you're the hitter because you work the count deep. They're going to start the runner, and rightfully so, because you figure Konerko is going to put it in play, but not like that.
A.J. Pierzynski with an RBI single with 2 out in the first inning. Pierzynski with 19 runs batted in on the year for Chicago. Swung on and missed. 0-2. He chased that one and strikes out. 2 down. Second strikeout for Masterson. It's almost as if as soon as he started to swing, he knew he didn't want to, but he couldn't stop.
Well, Brzezinski's a guy, he doesn't want to strike out, but he wasn't looking for that pitch. And then once it started, he couldn't hold it up. And he realized that's terrible. Look at the look.
Alex Rios, a base hit his first time to the dish. And a good slider for strike 1. Good pitch, 0-2. So he goes slider, fastball to jump ahead. Way outside. So 2 down and a 2-2 count for Alex Rios. Chopped in the hole. Cabrera with the backhand long throw. Not in time.
Nice cheat right there. Kochman trying to get a call from Larry Vanover at first base. It was a long throw, and Cabrera couldn't get a lot on it. Nice play. But you'll see Kochman cheating at first base, realizing it was going to be awfully close, so just come on off. You have to come off anyway with the guy on second base.
It looked like he did beat it just barely.
He did. He beat it. His foot was on, but that's a good try. Good play by Cabrera. He just beat it out.
Alexei Ramirez bounced one right back to the pitcher's mound his first time up. One-on-one to count. Alexei Ramirez has 11 hits in his last 77 at bats. It's around a 140 average. Into right field, Chu will make the catch. White Sox strand a pair. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Chicago. Indians on top 2-0, bottom of the third. Casey Kochman, the leadoff for Cleveland. Line drive left field. Viciedo on the move, can't get it. Gonna go by him, go to the wall. Kochman into second with a double, and he'll stop there. So a leadoff double for Casey Kochman, his third two-bagger of the year. On a ball that Viciedo made a diving attempt for, but you've always said that the rule as an outfielder, keep it in front of you.
I want to see this right here because he was coming in, he's getting awfully close, and it was close enough where you want to dive.
You know what? I didn't realize he was as close as he was.
That's what I wanted to see, the replay. You know, when you get that close and you start coming in, then you got to go after it. It was only going to be a double anyway. I mean, even if he doesn't catch it. Any way you shake it out, it was a double. So he had to go for it. He just didn't come up with it.
Now Jack Hanahan ropes it down into the seats.
But you're talking about a lot of times when that first hitter comes off and you're not sure you can get there, questionable. Don't give up the double. Give up the single and keep the double play in order. But that was a little tougher play.
I got it. Yeah, from at first glance from up here, I didn't think he was as close to it as he was on the replay.
Right.
Now the 0-1. Went inside off the plate, moving back. It's the Indians' second hit tonight. But a chance to claw right back in it here, down 2. Chop to first. Konerko with a backhand. Throws to Danks, who made a nice catch on the move to get the out. Kochman goes to third. Look at our University Hospitals minor league update. Francisco Lindor, the minor league player of the week. Boy, he is putting up big numbers for Lake County. A .379 average, couple of homers, 4 ribbies in just 7 games. The 8th overall pick just a year ago. RBI situation now for Johnny Damon. And that's fouled 0-2.
Well, John Danks, a guy, that first time through the lineup, he's pretty good. They hit just 180 off him. But the second time you go through, he's up to a .348 average. But Damon, he gets to strike out.
3 pitches and a big out for John Danks. 2 down. His first strikeout.
Change-up? Yeah, change-up to the left-hander. Down and in.
So now Jason Kipnis will try to come up with a big 2-out hit. Kipnis a line drive his first time up, but he hit it right at the second baseman, Gordon Beckham. And a big chopper to first. The flip. And Danks gets out of it. 3 complete, 2-0 Chicago. Two 2-0 Chicago as we move to the 4th inning. And the Indians, Justin Masterson has made 64 pitches in the first 3 innings of this game. And Viciedo looks at a called strike.
His second time leading off an inning tonight. Did it back in the second. We'll do it again.
Swung on and missed. And it is 0-2. Texas Rangers beat up Baltimore last night 14-3. And they've jumped out to a 5-0 lead again tonight. They're in the 4th inning in Baltimore. I think the Rangers, who had a tough time scoring against the Indians, have figured out their offensive problems.
Oh, and then in Baltimore with that 17-inning game before they head home, that hurt their, I think, that pitching staff a little bit.
Took a little starch out of them.
I think so. Not the team they actually wanted to face, but.
Viciedo strikes out, third K for Masterson. One down here in the 4th. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update. Al has what's going on in that game in Baltimore.
Well, Matt, what it is Josh Hamilton. 2 at-bats tonight, both times home runs. He's 2 for 2, 2 homers, 4 runs batted in. He now has 12 homers for the year. He leads the American League and is tied with Matt Kemp for the lead in home runs in all of MLB. Back to you, Matt.
Well, Al, that'll get your offense going right there.
Well,
Josh Hamilton, turn it loose.
I think Beltre's got a homer in that game, too. But, you know, when guys like that, the good athletes, the good hitters, they go off and they get hot, they take off. They carry a team. Not many guys can do that. Kemp in L.A. certainly can. Hamilton certainly can.
Kipnis throws him out. You know, another guy I was thinking of is, and he's on that Texas Rangers club, is Nelson Cruz.
Right.
Because we've seen when that guy gets hot, he might hit 4, 5, 6 homers in a week. He just gets red hot like that.
Very capable. But that lineup's so deep that, you know, somebody's going to get you eventually.
That's why, you know, in this day and age of overused hyperbole, you can't, I don't think, overestimate how good the Indians pitched in that 3-game series against the Rangers. Masterson gets what he needed, a quick pitch inning. 1-2-3 go the Sox. 2-0 Chicago. As Drupal Cabrera leading off the home half of the 4th looks at a ball down low from John Danks. And there's a strike to even the count. Our GMC stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. That's hit right on the nose, but right at the center fielder, Diaza. One down. That's going to bring up Carlos Santana. Santana with a walk. Lead off the second inning. And that's going to find the seats. And it's ball three. Santana walked to lead off the second. The Indians still lead the American League in walks.
133.
Make it 134. And Rick, they lead by a lot. The second closest team to him has 111, and that's Tampa Bay.
And Tampa was the team, when you look last year, that struck out about as much as the Indians did. You know, they were a team that didn't walk a lot and struck out a lot, like the Indians, and those two teams have really turned it around to this point in the season.
Yeah. Shelley Duncan popped up after, what was it, 12, 13 pitch at bat his first time up. 14, Tommy? 14 pitch at bat. Fastball's inside 1-1. You ever have a 12 to 14 pitch at bat against a guy?
Boy, I don't know. Can't remember. I never liked to. I would have been up there trying to put it in play early.
Another sky-high pop-up. 2 down. My question being, would you feel like you had any kind of an advantage if you saw that many pitches
absolutely.
Next time up?
When you get into a batter's box, sometimes when you have an at-bat like that, and you may not be swinging very, very well, that gets you in a groove because you see so many pitches and you get an idea of the strike zone and the plate and where it's at. Yeah, an at-bat like that can certainly help you out a lot.
Bat's pretty quiet so far tonight. 2 down for Shin-Soo Choo. And another quick inning. 4 complete, 2-0 Chicago. Ohio. STO's Kelly Myers with her husband Matt in attendance here tonight. She does a lot of work.
Over at STO, keeps everybody in order over there.
She helps to keep the ship afloat. Gordon Beckham singled and scored in the first, flied to right in the second. And that ball down in the dirt, 3-0. And ball 4. So Masterson with a leadoff walk for the second time tonight. Our great clip of the game, boy, Josh Tomlin, they needed a start to get him deep into the ball game in a doubleheader, and Tomlin gave him just that. Great clips. It's going to be great. Season high, career high, 8 strikeouts.
Yes. The rain came and hurt him a little bit.
I really think it did.
I do too. I mean, because he had to stretch him a little farther, and man, he had to go farther than normal because of the situation in the bullpen, and then that rain, it just, there's nothing you could do. They had to pull the tarp when they did, or this thing would have got ugly.
Pitch number 80 on the night coming up here for Justin. Well, close, but didn't get the call.
Little backdoor slider he's trying to get. That ball stayed off the plate.
That'll even it up to 2-2. Just looks to me like Masterson's laboring out there on the mound.
Well, he's not. He wasn't as sharp as he was in his last start. That's for sure. And you know, he's looking for it. He's searching for it. He's throwing some pitches that haven't even come close to the plate tonight.
Yeah.
Well, when you're big, you're tall like him mechanically. Sometimes you have problems and issues, and that's the tough thing, is to repeat that delivery. And tonight he's searching for it. It's not free and easy like we see sometimes with Justin, where he just throws it and it ball's around the strike zone. See, he can be sitting away. He's throwing it in. Yeah. He's missing by a lot. He's not missing by a little. So he is. I mean, watch where he's sitting. Watch where Santana's sitting away. This ball's thrown in off the plate. That's 2 feet.
Sets up away again, and that missed down and in. And another walk, so back-to-back free passes, and he is pitching himself into a jam now here in the 5th.
Well, he's got to get back to that sink and try and get the ground ball double play like he's capable of getting in the rest of the Indian staff. But you're going to have to do it against a really good hitter.
Paul Konerko, an RBI ground out his first time up, second time up on a full count. He just beat one right into the ground in front of home plate. Caught the corner.
Yeah, this is it's not fun to play defense when you're like this, because the hitters, they're not ready on every pitch. I'm watching the defenders out there, and they're standing up. They're trying to do things to stay loose.
Double play ball to third. Hanahan goes to second for one. On to first, a double play.
That's what he was looking for.
Beckham goes to third, but now there are two down.
Got inside on Konerko. That ball must have had good movement, because it jams him and gets it over to Hanahan. Look at the movement. It sure did. He tried to get it in. He realized once he hit it, it's going to be a double play.
Well, now A.J. Pierzynski, who struck out his last time up. Upstairs for ball one. Comes back to even the count. Well, of course, this is the third time through the lineup tonight, so the White Sox have a pretty good idea what they're looking at when they come up here now. And they know that he's had a tough time staying ahead of the hitters. That one's blooped toward left, but Damon's there, makes the catch. And Masterson works out of trouble here in the fifth. He's given up two. That's it. But the White Sox are on top 2-0. Here. It'll be Michael Brantley, Casey Kochman, and Jack Hanahan. Right at the top of the strike zone. Brantley, a hard hitter, his first time up, right back to the mound, and Danks just threw his glove down and made a nice play to end the inning. Back to even at 2-2. Just two hits for the Indians tonight. A two-out single by Chu in the second. And a leadoff double by Kochman in the third. Popped up, foul ground, another easy out. One away. Carter, in-game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. The White Sox got both runs in the first. An RBI ground out by Paul Konerko and a 2-out RBI single by A.J. Pierzynski. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Casey Kochman doubled to left to start the third inning. He advanced to third on a little ground out by Jack Hanahan. But then Johnny Damon struck out, and Jason Kipnis grounded out to end the inning, stranding Kochman at third base. That's been it. 2 down as Danks making it look easy here tonight.
Well, bring all your friends to Progressive Field this season with the Indians Flex Packs. It's presented by Discount Drug Mart. You can use 10 tickets however you want. You bring one friend to 5 fireworks nights or a group of 10 to collect one of your favorite bobbleheads. Starting with Joe Carter, that'll be next homestand, May 20th. Log on to Indians.com, perfect 10, or visit Discount Drug Mart for your Flex Pack.
Two balls and no strikes for Hanahan. And a hard hit ground ball to second base. Indians go 1-2-3. And we go to the 6th. 2-0 Chicago. It has been 2-0 since the top of the first inning, and it stays that way into the 6th. Alex Rios, 2 for 2 with 2 singles on the night. 4 hits now in the series. And a 3-0 count here. And ball 4. So he walked the first 2 in the 5th, and he walks the leadoff man here in the 6th. Third time tonight he's walked the leadoff man, and that's going to get Scott Radinsky on the bullpen phone.
You almost wonder if out of the full windup it affects him more, mechanically, because when you look at him walking the leadoff man, as you mentioned, the third time he's done that tonight, then he goes right into the stretch.
Yeah, hard to say.
Sometimes when pitchers get in the stretch, they have a tough time. They like the windup better, but this is different.
Oh, he set him down 1-2-3 out of the windup in the 4th inning. But other than that, he's been out of the stretch a lot tonight. Dan Wheeler's going to get up and get loose in the Indians bullpen. Alexei Ramirez 0 for 2 on the night. Rios takes off first movement. Santana's throw not in time.
Well, he had a good jump off Masterson. Carlos had to try and rush that throw a little bit. His 4th stolen base of the year. Watch the good jump he gets. He's off, running. He's well over halfway down there by the time Santana could get rid of it.
Just foul, third base side. The White Sox got 2 in the top half of the first. They left 1 in the second, 2 on in the third, and left another in the 5th. 2-2. Masterson 100 pitches on the night. 55 have been strikes. Weekly tap headed up the middle. Cabrera just does get him at first. Close play, but he's able to throw out Ramirez, who's visibly frustrated because he just hasn't been able to catch a break here lately. I mean, he's struggling offensively, but he's had some close calls here. Remember, he just missed hitting a home run last night. He sent Cunningham to the base of the wall in deep left field.
Well, he checked his swing and they rang him up.
Yeah, had that one too.
And then that bang play at first. But he got his job done. He got him over from second to third. Now the Indians will come and bring their infield in and try and cut the run off at the plate. But here's a guy you can strike out.
Tyan Viciedo has struck out twice tonight, and he has really shown an inability to lay off pitches out of the strike zone, especially that slider away.
And then what do? He wants to lay off it, and then Justin throws it for a strike. And there he goes, expands. He looks like a very good fastball hitter to me if you challenge him and you get after it. But this one's going to be off the plate. He started him off with one, and he will expand his own strike zone. You don't have to throw him a strike a lot of times. He will get himself out.
That fastball went for the outside corner.
That's right. He shows it to him.
He wanted the call, didn't get it.
Well, it's a good pitch because that's the fastball he's going to see. He had a little run coming back to it. And now you go back to your slider and go for that punchy.
Able to lay off. Now the question is, can he lay off it 2 times in a row? Because you got to figure they'll go back out there again. Pops it out of play.
Now you throw your strikeout slider. You may have to bounce it. And if you're Santana, you have to be ready. Don't leave it up in the zone. Went with another fastball.
Full count. Number 9 hitter Brent Morel on deck. Payoff pitch. And how about that? He's able to lay off. Second walk in the inning.
5 on the night for Masterson. That has been his problem this year.
Here comes Scott Rudinsky, the pitching coach, going to go out. While they chat it up, let's reveal our AT&T trivia question tonight. The only pitcher to win 20 for both the White Sox and the Indians. Got to go back to early days. Early win. That's so many great years with the Indians, and then won 20 games for the White Sox in 1959. Brent Morrell, the number 9 hitter at the plate, 0 for 2 on the night. He's hit one back to the mound, and he's also grounded out to second. Bounce to third. Hanahan goes to second. There's one. Kipnis on the turn. They got him. Masterson got just what he needed. The double play ball to end the inning. And he keeps the Indians in it as the score remains 2-0 Chicago. Justin Masterson, give him credit for one thing. He battled tonight. He didn't have great stuff. He had command issues at times. But, and I'm not hanging this on Michael Brantley, but if Brantley makes that catch in the first inning, he might have a shutout under his belt working too. And Michael did have it in the heel of his glove in center field, but it popped out, and that helped the Sox.
Well, you have to score. I mean, he's kept him in there. He hasn't swung the bat, but the offense has been terrible tonight. They haven't really swung the bat. They had a good night against this guy the last time they faced him, against John Danks, and they haven't done anything tonight.
11 base runners for Masterson, a half dozen hits, the 5 walks. There's John Danks, who has done a terrific job. He's given up just 2 hits. Single to Chu and a double to Kochman. Another pop-up. Ramirez, the shortstop's there, 2 down. Now it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Before the ball game, Mike and Mike. Mike Greenberg on your left and Cleveland's Mike Golick on your right. as they threw out the ceremonial first pitch before tonight's ball game. Very popular morning radio show. Heard in Cleveland on ESPN Radio 850. As Drupal Cabrera takes a strike. Yeah, just 5 days ago, the Indians tagged John Danks for 7 runs on 9 hits. Hit a couple of home runs, but
Cabrera
different
had one.
story.
Oh, yeah.
There's a liner to right. Rios makes the catch, and the Tribe goes 1-2-3. And that is 8 in a row retired by John Danks.
Shows around happen right here at Progressive Field. The next fireworks show that you can catch is Friday, May 18th. It'll be set to the tune of some of your favorite R&B songs. You can log on to Indians.com. Check out those flex packs while you're there. You can get 10 tickets. Use them however you want. Indians.com/perfect10. Guys, back over to you.
Thanks, Katie. 7th inning, and it's a 2-0 White Sox lead. Justin Masterson giving way to Dan Wheeler, who is coming on out of the Indians bullpen. Wheeler pitching for the 10th time this year. No wins or losses and an ERA of 5.87. He has struck out 2, walked 4 in his 7 2/3 innings of work.
Well, he got an appearance last night and never even threw a pitch. Came on right when they were pulling the tarp. Manny Acta made the move. Took out Josh Tomlin, called in Dan Wheeler, and the next thing you know, they pulled the tarp, and by the time he comes back, it was Joe Smith in the game.
He last pitched in the game that Justin Masterson pitched against John Danks in Chicago. Went 1/3 of an inning. Was tagged for 2 runs on 2 hits. You remember that was the game where they ended up having to go to, I'm trying to remember the situation. Was it a 7-4 game? He gave up the 2-run homer, didn't he?
Well, in Chicago, you're saying, so.
I think it was a 7-3 game. There's a ground ball by Cabrera and a base hit for Diaz.
Second hit for Diaz on the night. He's going the other way. Cabrera almost caught this ball. Deflects off his glove. That's 7 hits now for the Sox. They get their leadoff man aboard again. 1, 2, 3, 4th time in 7 innings. if not for the double play ball the last couple innings. That got him out of a lot of trouble.
Gordon Beckham has singled, walked, and scored a run tonight. Had him leaning, but they just did get back ahead of the tag of Casey Kochman. Kochman really tried to slap it down quick and hard on Diaza. And he just barely got back in. He might have hurt himself.
Well, it's a good time to run. You're in a count where you can go ahead and start the runner. It looked like he wanted to go. He was leaning to second base. But a throw like that will keep you honest, and the manager sometimes will take it off if you were running. They'll say, oh, I didn't like that. Take it off. Because of the double plays in the last two innings, that's why he might want to start the runner.
Jammed him to third. Hanahan's only play will be at first. And that's out number one. So Diaza goes into scoring position. Our highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. And despite all the base runners, Justin Masterson got some key twin killers behind him to keep the Indians in this baby. Adam Dunn will be the batter with one out here in the seventh. Dunn has walked twice, doubled, and scored a run. Chop foul.
This is the guy that I think got him, Wheeler, in Chicago, you were talking about in that ball game. Adam Dunn, he's off to a much better start this year than he was last.
Outside 1-1, he has struck out at least once in every game this season.
Yeah, it's the 34-game streak going on right now, but he hasn't struck out yet tonight. But you know that when they signed him, this guy could be a 40 home run guy. He's going to strike out 175 to 200 times, and he's going to draw his walks. But last year was the thing, he couldn't hit for anything, didn't hit for power, didn't drive in any runs, and normally he'll hit a lot of doubles. But they need this guy in the middle part of that lineup in front of Konerko. They're hitting Pierzynski fifth this year, which, you don't consider AJ a number 5 hole hitter, but he's doing it, and he's doing a pretty good job to this point.
Bounced it in there, 3-1. Paul Konerko waiting on deck as Dunn digs in, awaiting a 3-1 pitch from Dan Wheeler. And it's ball 4. So he's walked for the third straight time. And let's go back right now to the studios once again for an in-game update. Here's Al.
Hey, Matt, the Minnesota Twins doing what you have to against the Angels, and Dan Herron jump on them early. Here in the first inning, they score 3. A 2-run homer by Ryan Doman made it 3-0. That's his 4th of the year. Still 3-0. Bottom of the second now at Target Field. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al. Here it's 2-0 White Sox. They have 2 on with 1 out. And Paul Konerko 0 for 3 at the plate. Line drive, base hit into right field. They're going to wave Diaz around. Now they put the stop sign on late, and it's a good thing they did because Chu came up gunning, made a pretty good throw to home plate. Bases are loaded with 1 out.
You know, you really do. You want to try and be aggressive, and you do want to try and send him. That ball was hit right on the nose with a very nice swing. Look at this. Ball down and away. That's why he's an RBI guy. Right there. He just took exactly what they gave him. And Chu laying in the weeds down there, and they said, no, we better stop it. Don't want to take a chance of getting somebody thrown out at the dish. We'll give A.J. Brzezinski an opportunity to drive him home. And the Indians are, again, for the 3rd straight inning, looking for a double play ball to get out of it.
Chicago a chance to blow it open here. They lead 2-0. Brzezinski 1 for 3, an RBI single in the first. Pretty good career numbers for Brzezinski in these situations. But he bounces this one to first. Kochman is just going to take the out at first.
He wanted to try and go home first before he stepped on first base. He just couldn't do it. The ball wasn't hit hard enough. He wanted to, and then you just have to eventually just take your out. And he does. But they score a run.
Watch Alejandro Diaz when he comes home here.
Well, he's looking to slide. And I'll tell you, a lot of times you can hurt yourself.
Is that a slide?
Oh, no.
What is that?
Maybe a cleat got caught. I'll tell you what, he wanted to slide, and he might have done something to the hamstring there.
Or a groin. I don't know. That didn't look good.
Yeah. That was ugly.
3-0 White Sox as Alex Rios looks at the ball down low. Rios hits it foul. Well, you gave the stat right out of the chute tonight in that first inning when the Indians had a 0 for 26 streak against the opposition with 2 outs. The White Sox tonight have gone 4 for 9.
Yeah, they've gotten the hits with 2 outs. Something the Indians have been very good at on the homestand. And that's, they're getting some of their own medicine. This is what happens because they've been very good at it. And tonight, offensively, they haven't been able to do anything. For John Danks, he has kept the bats in check. And they've just done enough. They've had other opportunities to really have some innings. And Masterson was able to control that.
High fly ball, right center. Brantley's there, and the inning is over. But the Sox get an insurance run here in the 7th. Stretch time in Cleveland. Brought to you by the world-class Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Call 216-444-CARE for an appointment today. Here's a look in from our Panini's camera. Get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. Well, John Danks is pitching a dandy tonight for Chicago. He's putting Indians bats to sleep. 80 pitches on the night coming up right here will be number 80. In his last 2 starts, he was 0-2 with an ERA of over 9.
Yeah.
But he has stifled the Indians here tonight. He's had 1 rough inning, and that was in the second when Shelley Duncan had that epic at bat that ended in a pop-up. He had to make 27 pitches to get through the second. He has not needed more than 12 to get through any other inning tonight.
Well, both his wins have come on the road this year, Matt. He's 2-1. And I'll tell you the adjustment he's made from what I noticed to this lineup this time. He's throwing a few more fastballs inside, and these guys have made some easy outs on pop-ups. You know, he's not staying away, and he's been able to work both sides of the plate. But, the couple of balls that have been hit hard tonight, Cabrera hit a line drive to right field. The 2 and 1 was hit hard to left field. But other than that, he's really been in control.
Santana thought it was ball 4, now full count. However, with all of that, the Indians still only down 3-0.
Yeah, you're in striking distance. A couple base runners, and let's go like that.
There's a drive to deep left field. Viciedo looking up, high off the wall. And Santana will stroll into second base with a leadoff double. He didn't want to walk anyway.
Well, no, he didn't. And drives a ball in the left center field. Only the 3rd hit, 2nd double. That's number 5 for Santana this year. But, you could string together a big inning. There's a fastball, but that one wasn't located. He left that one middle of the plate, and your hitters will let you know when you make a bad pitch, and he let them know. Goes off the wall. So there's your start. You're in the 7th. The longest he's gone this year is 7 innings. That came against Baltimore in his 3rd start of the year. But it was a loss.
Bounced in the dirt. Pierzynski chasing it. To third goes Santana. So the wild pitch puts the Indians' potential first run of the night 90 feet away with nobody out.
That's his 5th wild pitch, and there's a ball you can see. It's short hops Pierzynski. Nothing he could do with it. All right, there's your first run 90 feet away. You'd almost like to get this thing going where you get a base hit to get them in. Keep it going, keep the momentum, and keep them out of the stretch instead of like a sac fly or something like that. Just stay patient.
Duncan, a couple of times tonight, you see right there, he's just popped it straight up. He's in a good spot here, 2-0. Checked, it's up high, 3 balls, no strikes, and now Pierzynski going to run out and talk to Danks.
Well, it looks like Danks now starting to overthrow a little bit. You know, he wants to get that fastball, and you try and become a little too perfect. So up comes the manager. He's going to start moving around a little bit.
Got Don Cooper, the pitching coach, on the horn of the bullpen.
Time to get up and walk around. Had a nice, easy game going for 6.
3-0. Ball 4. So the tying run is at the plate, just like that. And here comes Don Cooper, the pitching coach. Try to slow the momentum. The batter will be Shin-Soo Choo, who is 1 for 2 on the night with a base hit. And the Indians have an opportunity now to get right back in this game. Not that they've ever been out of it, but just the way things have been going offensively, they haven't had many opportunities.
No. Well, and now it's time to start feeding off of something. They had the leadoff man aboard a double. They did it back in the 3rd inning, couldn't capitalize. So now you remain patient. Duncan had a 4-pitch walk after the double and the wild pitch. You know, the Indians are playing well. They know once they get one in and get on the board, it's no big deal.
First and third, nobody out. Shin-Soo Choo, 1 for 2 on the night, steps in.
Danks has been a guy to give up the big inning, and the Indians have been a team to put a big inning on the board.
Sky high pop up.
That'll
Shallow
not get
center.
it done.
Diaza is there. And an easy out for out number 1. Danks, you can see, look at like a different guy now after getting that first out on a first pitch after he just walked a guy in 4 straight. Well, every time the Indians homer this year, Rick and I are donating $5 each, and Great Clips is donating $50 to the Gathering Place. Our season total $1,500. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Michael Brantley 0 for 2. And there's a liner. Konerko caught it, doubled him off, inning over. Just like that, the inning comes to an end. We go to the 8th inning. Dan Wheeler back on for a second inning of relief work. Foul ball to short. And Asdrubal Cabrera will flip it over, 1 away. Tonight's box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to go see the 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today. Now for the White Sox, they haven't exactly tattooed the ball all over the yard, but took advantage of an double by Dunn on the first, led to a pair of runs. They tack one on the 7th. And John Danks has made it stand up, 2 down.
Well, the first of 5 bobblehead giveaways this year starts with Joe Carter. That'll be Sunday, May 20th. And the first 15,000 fans will be able to take home the keepsake of one of their favorite Indians. Log on to Indians.com and get your tickets.
Brent Morel 0 for 3.
Joe Carter had to be here in your day growing up, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was in
right
high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was your time.
Well, I mean, that whole Sports Illustrated cover thing was, there's a drive to left. Over is Damon, who makes the catch. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, to see Corey Snyder and Joe Carter, I mean, you kidding me? Of course, what happened afterwards, we won't talk about. And Jack Hanahan, Johnny Damon due up for the Indians. John Danks just over 90 pitches on the night. Sends Kochman to the dirt. Yeah, White Sox have their bullpen busy. Breaking ball in there, 1-1. There's Chris Sale, the new White Sox closer. Up and in again. That's 2-1. That's a little bit outside, 3-1. That's fisted to center. It's going to drop for a base hit. So once again, the Indians get their leadoff man aboard. Second straight inning. And it's going to bring up Jack Hanahan.
Well, you fall behind in the count. Kochman knows he's going to get a fastball. You know, it's a 3-run deficit. He says, okay, let me get that fastball. Puts it in play. Hits it into center field. Gets a base hit.
It's going to bring up Jack Hanahan, who is 0 for 2 on the night.
Indians they're looking for their first hit with Danks out of the stretch.
Well, you know what? I was just thinking, with Chris Sale up in the bullpen, if he is the new closer,
You're thinking more of a 3-out save?
Well, I'm thinking because he's been a starter and he's stretched out, maybe Robin Ventura would go to him here in this 8th inning if he needs to.
He might. Absolutely.
Jack Hanahan down on the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
It's going to be an interesting story to follow as the year goes on. As I mentioned, we quit playing these guys now at the end of May. We go back to Chicago, and then we won't see them till the end of September. But how this kid, they felt he may be a little frail. He may break down as a starting pitcher. There's going to be as much stress on that arm coming out of the bullpen as a closer, I would think, as a starter.
Well, especially if he's got to pitch 4 games in a row or something like that.
Well, that may not happen, but that's going to be interesting to watch to see if this kid takes hold of the closer role, if he can stay there, and how he holds up.
Hanahan with a flare towards left. Viciedo in. Drops for a hit. And the Indians have their first 2 on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. I don't know if Viciedo thought I was going to go foul, but it seemed to me he pulled up, and maybe because he let that one get by him earlier, maybe that was in the back of his mind. But, hey, the Indians are rolling now here in the 8th.
If you don't know you can catch the ball, you keep it in front of you, and he couldn't get there. Obviously, you see, that thing's dying as it goes down the line. It looked like it was high enough, but he just gives up on it, and he says, I'm going to give him the base hit. I can't question him because from our angle, he couldn't get there. It wasn't as close.
Yeah.
So with a 3-run lead, you don't let that guy go. You keep the double play in order.
If he dives and kicks that one,
that's a mistake. So you know what? I say that's okay.
Yep.
Play it in front of you. You give the single. Now the tying run comes to the plate, but then the manager comes out to the mound, and he's making a move, and I think he is going with Chris Sale.
So here we go. Chris Sale, the Chris Sale era as closer will begin here tonight, and he'll be looking for a 2-inning save, but he'll be coming into a situation with the tying run at the plate. All right, it's a 3-0 White Sox lead, but the Indians have 2 on and nobody out. And want to remind you, a new season of Tee It Up Ohio begins tomorrow night at 6. Jimmy Hanlon and big break star Carling Coughing visit her home course, Weather Wax in Middletown, Ohio. Don't miss Menor Kia's Tee It Up Ohio tomorrow night at 6, right here on STO. So Chris Sale coming on. He'll be facing Johnny Damon with the Indians setting the table here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 on and nobody out. Damon 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 7 now in the series. And a fastball strike.
Well, Sale has made 2 good starts against the Indians this year. He's got a good arm. You know, and you would think, now his velocity was down when he was starting, Matt, because he's going to go, you know, and throw 80, 90, 100 pitches. You would think that velocity may go up when he's coming out of the bullpen and only has to face, they're hoping, 3 guys.
Well, he just went from 96 miles an hour with the fastball to 82 with that curveball. And it's 1-1 for Damon. Yeah, you're right, Rick. He's just going to turn it loose.
Yeah, I mean, you can let it go. That happened as Zach Greinke when he was a starter and then went into as a closer.
That breaking ball looked very similar to the previous one that was called a ball. That's a strike, and it's 1-2 now for Damon.
Well, anyway you slice it, this to me is probably the save inning. That was low.
So. Yeah.
That was low.
Yeah.
That was a gift.
That's outside, 2-2. Interesting that with Damon up here, a lot of breaking balls. Another one fouled away. Johnny Damon joined the Indians officially last week when we were in Chicago. So he's had a heavy dose of White Sox baseball since becoming a member of the Indians. Weekly grounded towards short. Ramirez kicks it, and the bases are loaded.
Wow, break. Big break.
That really opens the door now for the Indians. He was going to have to hurry anyway because Damon still runs well. And I wonder if that was, if he was thinking that before he had the ball secured.
Well, that was his only play, was first base. It certainly had something to do with it. You know, as a shortstop, a lot of times speed kills. That ball just jumped up and hit him on the heel.
Sure did.
And that's a break the Indians got to take advantage of right there. An error to have the bases loaded, nobody out. Now, they just got their very first hit with the bases loaded in this at home this year. Yesterday, it was Michael Brantley. Big error right there.
Jason Kipnis bouncing ball. Fair ball behind the bag and gloved by Konerko. He gets the out at first. The Indians get on the board as Kochman comes home. And it's a 3-1 ball game. The tying run now moves into scoring position. Kipnis with his 20th run batted in on the year, and that was nearly under the glove of Konerko, but he made a nice stop.
Yeah, you see Konerko's over on the line, and then he short hops it, and he's going to have to beat him because Sale never got off the mound. If Konerko was another half step away, Jason Kipnis would have beat it out. See, Konerko planted, and he got over there. Sale was nowhere in sight. He didn't get over there to cover. But they get the out. They get their first out, but the Indians are on the board.
As Drupal Cabrera 0 for 3 tonight. And a ball outside from Sale.
A lot of sliders, huh?
Yeah, it's surprising, but, you know.
Well, AJ's putting the fingers down.
That's what I'm thinking,
the veteran
too.
catcher knows in this situation what he's doing. He's, believe me, he's got the game plan. He knows. And I remember after the last start, Chris Sale said, hey, I just watched AJ. He put the fingers down. I threw the baseball. So he's trusting what his catcher's putting down.
Fastball way up high. It's 2-0.
This is definitely the save inning, and it is only the 8th. But he's in the heart of the order and facing the hottest guy in the lineup.
Up high, 3-0. Carlos Santana waiting on deck as the Indians have the tying run at second base here in the bottom of the 8th, down 3-1. And the 3-0.
All right. There you go. You got a good look at it. Now you sit for something. You zone in and look for one pitch. And one pitch that you can drive.
Sale, 3-1 pitch. Popped back out of play.
He got it too and missed it. He had a nice fastball. He couldn't center it. I mean, he had a good pitch to hit. He was looking fastball, gets fastball, and that's where you just say, oh boy. And when you're throwing the ball 93, 94, that goes to show you how tough it is to center. He had the pitch he wanted.
Now the payoff pitch. Ball 4, just missed.
Wrap around.
And they're loaded again. Pierzynski was trying to frame it. Don Cooper wants to know where was it. It was very, very close.
You watch as it comes around. That's the old outside coming wrap around. But where Pierzynski got it is not where that ball came in over the plate. That was a little bit outside. And a tough one to take when you're a hitter. But Cabrera obviously felt he wasn't going to hit it. Now Cooper's going to go out. We'll see how long he stays out there to see if he wants to have his say. Just to let the umpire know they thought it was a strike. But that ball did wrap around the plate.
The base is loaded now for Carlos Santana.
There you go. That's what we're looking for. He's got his say. Here comes the ump. And Todd Tickner will. Where was that ball? Oh, he didn't say anything. Oh, there he is. He had to say something.
Yep, yeah, there we go. Here we go. Look out.
He had to say that ball was a pretty good pitch. You know, that's good. Keep your eye on it. He likes to throw that pitch with 2 strikes. He's trying to, get his say in. No question about it.
Well, lobbying effort.
Absolutely. He may throw it again. Just don't give up on it.
Base is loaded with Indians and 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Tribe down 3-1. The pitch to Santana. And a fastball for a strike. And now Carlos didn't like the call.
He might have been thinking this pitch was down.
Yeah. That's up high, 1-1.
Well, it's the only inning the Indians have had a chance, or the fans have had a chance to do anything. They're waiting for that next base hit. Good pitch.
Now it's 1-2. Hanahan is at third. Damon the tying run at second. Cabrera the go-ahead run is at first. And right back up the middle. Hanahan scores. Here comes Damon with the tying run. And we are locked up at 3. Santana delivers with a 2-out, with a 2-run single right back up the middle. As Dribble Cabrera, the go-ahead run stopping at second base. And a terrific piece of hitting by Carlos Santana down on the count 1-2.
I'll tell you what, on a normal pitcher, that would have hit him. But this guy's so skinny, it got by him. Watch this. I mean, right back up the middle. He had to duck to get out of the way. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. That's a short, quick stroke right there. Drive in a pair. The error ends up hurting him in the inning. As Hanahan and Damon come in to score. Now they've got the go-ahead run out there to try and take the lead here in the 8th inning. So close the book on Danks. He gives up a pair.
Shelley Duncan checks on a ball downstairs. So the Indians offense dormant for 7 innings, coming to life here in the 8th. They've scored 3 times and they've got 2 on, still only 1 out. Caught the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Duncan, couple of pop-ups. And he walked his last time up. John Danks, the White Sox starter, charged with 2 runs. Duncan takes a fastball strike. It's 1-2. A no decision for Danks tonight. Downstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Manny Acta's club in position here with the go-ahead run at second base. Can Duncan be the hero 2 games in a row? That's outside in a full count. Shelley delivered. An RBI double that gave the Indians a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning last night. Shin-Soo Choo waiting on deck. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out, and there are 2 down.
See if this is a strike that he swings at or he helped him out. Probably, again, too close to take there on a 3-2 pitch. But he comes up empty, and that's a big strikeout for Chris Sale.
And now Shin-Soo Choo 1 for 3 on the night. Low ball 1. It's not a big deal because Chris Sale has been stretched out as a starter, but he's already made, this will be his 25th pitch of the inning, and it's only the 8th. He's the closer now. A little bit outside 2-0. Choo in a good spot here, 2-0. Fly ball left field. Viciedo coming in. He makes the catch. The Indians rally for 3 here in the bottom of the 8th to tie the game. Ball game, and the Indians go to the left-hander Nick Hagedorn. Hagedorn fresh off, picking up his first save in the big leagues yesterday, as he saved game 1 of the day-night doubleheader. And an interesting and sort of an odd statistic came out of the last 24 hours. According to Inc. First time ever for the Indians, and only the 23rd time in the history of Major League Baseball that a team has had 3 saves in 2 days by 3 different players.
Yeah,
3 different pitchers.
That's just the way. That's how goofy this game is. I mean, because their regular, normal closers or guys weren't available and needed the day off. He gets the first game. Sip got the second game, and Chris Perez obviously got the game before.
Yeah. But there again, that speaks to all these close games. And I mentioned in winning 8 of their last 11, they're 5-1 and 1 run, or games decided by 2 runs or less.
Indians are 11-3 in games decided by 2 runs or less. Chicago's 3-11, the exact opposite. So they haven't been able to win the close ones where the Indians and Manny Acta have been able to.
Alejandro Diaz taking a strike. He has 2 hits on the night. And he strikes him out. Santana hangs on to the foul tip, 1 away.
He got it up there. That's up letter high. Tough to get on top of that pitch. But as a left-hander, you see that one. That's the one you want to hit. But, boy, you got your work cut out for you.
Gordon Beckham 1 for 3 on the night. Takes a strike. Hey, by the way, wanted to wish Tyler Danberg a happy 9th birthday.
Oh, is it Tyler's birthday today?
He was here at the ballpark celebrating his 9th birthday, so happy birthday, Tyler.
Yes, indeed.
And a strike is called. I turned him on to baseballreference.com. He told me today, did you know that Ernie Banks was born in Dallas? He does.
Oh, that's funny.
He'll have that whole website memorized. Swing and a miss, and Hagedon has struck out the first 2 here in the 9th.
Pretty good breaking ball here. I mean, you get 2 strikes on the guy, and then all of a sudden, boom, there it goes. The bottom disappears, 83. You get him to chase your pitch. Nice pitch. So it's back-to-back punch-outs for Hagedon.
Nick, who got such a big thrill when he got a chance to pitch in his hometown of Seattle when the Indians called him up earlier this year.
Yeah,
he pitched so well that as soon as there was a need, he was the first guy they called back.
Well, they knew it. I mean, they wanted them to finish off down there as far as command goes on some of his pitches, but it's just a matter of time. His arm's so good. That's a pretty good pitch. He's going to help this club. And yesterday, I think it really made him feel good when Manny Acta put him in there for a save situation, letting him know that, he thinks that much of him at this time of his career where he would put him in a situation like that. But he's got you don't see many left-handers that can throw it up there 94, 95 coming out of the bullpen. Nice.
Good pitch, and it is called a strike. 2-2.
If he can throw that pitch when he's behind in a count, like he just did, boy, that's that's big league stuff right there. Hitters they're not gonna pull the trigger on it, man. They're looking one pitch, dead red. They get that pitch, you throw it for a strike, it's beautiful.
Slider on the black. Oh, my. There were at least 5 players on the Indians that were headed toward the dugout.
That was interesting, that camera shot, how you see it. All right, we're going to see it from this view, but we saw it from behind home plate. That was close, but you see the players out there that were moving off. You're right.
They thought for sure he was going to ring him up. Now the payoff pitch. Struck him out.
How about that sequence?
Nick Hagedon whiffs the side here in the 9th. And the left-hander goes off to a standing O. Bottom of the ninth, bottom third of the Indians' order coming up. And the third left-handed White Sox pitcher to work tonight is Hector Santiago. And they still have 2 more lefties in that bullpen.
Yeah.
Santiago on for the 11th time. He's had his moments.
Well, he started the year where he was their closer, and then command became an issue with him. This guy, he has good stuff, but he can get erratic. So I think if you're the Indians, you're down there, you want to make sure he gets in the strike zone.
Michael Brantley 0 for 3 on the night, 3 for 11 in the series. Almost hit him.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He can be a little bit all over the place.
I don't think Michael appreciated where that location was. The 1-0. Bullseye. Post-game show coming up after the ball game on Sports Time Ohio. Down in the dirt, 2-1. He almost went after it. Let's see. They appeal. Yep. I didn't think he really offered at it, but third base umpire Tony Randazzo raising the right hand.
And I know Michael doesn't think he went after it either. And he didn't. I mean, he started to go. He's just, well, at least it's not the third strike. You still have 1 more left.
Oh, man, right over top of the Indians' dugout, and that went skipping into the crowd. Now the 2-2 to Brantley. And he's out looking. 1 down here in the bottom of the ninth. Casey Kochman, 2 hits on the night, a single, a double, and a run scored. And he takes a called strike. Pop foul, Pierzynski can't get to it. Oh, and 2 the count on Kochman. Bottom of the ninth, Indians and White Sox tied at 3. A little bit outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Mentioned earlier how the Indians shut down the Texas Rangers bats over their weekend series here in Cleveland. They went to Baltimore, destroyed the O's last night 14-3. They put up 10 more runs tonight, 8 of them courtesy of Josh Hamilton.
What a night, huh? In Baltimore.
5 for 5 with 4 home runs.
And a double. Really?
That is straight wiffle ball.
Well, it is for him. Yeah, it's like Little League. He's hitting over 400. What's he have, 14 homers? pretty good pitch right there.
Now the 2-2 to Kochman. That's low and a full count. And the payoff pitch. Hit in the air to deep right, but back is Rios, and he is there. Plenty of room to make the catch, 2 down. So that'll leave it to Jack Hanahan with 2 down here in the bottom of the ninth. And a 3-3 ball game. Hector Santiago wants a new baseball. Hanahan had a base hit in the Indians' 3-run rally in the bottom of the 8th. Pop back out of play. Jack steps away. Indians, White Sox knotted up 3 apiece here, last of the ninth. And with 2 down and an 0-2 count, Hanahan yanks the breaking ball into right field.
Yeah, picked on a hanger there, an 0-2 hanger. He's able to stay in there and just strokes it to right field. Look at that. Oh, yes. I mean, you couldn't put it on a tee any better. You want that ball down and away. You talk about hanging it and leaving it there to hit. And Hanahan does.
So now here's Johnny Damon, who is 0 for 4 on the night. It was Damon's ground ball in the 8th inning that looked like it was going to get a run home, but also get an out for Chicago. And instead, Alexi Ramirez kicked it off the heel of his glove. Everybody was safe, and it set up the inning big time for the Tribe. They were able to cash in, scoring 3 times to tie the game.
Yeah, that's a rarity for Ramirez. He's usually a short fielding shortstop. That was his 3rd error, but he's awfully good out there defensively.
Here's a blooper towards center. It's going to drop. Hanahan will have to stop at second as Diaz got to it quickly. But back-to-back 2-out singles here in the bottom of the 9th. And the Indians are not going quietly here. They're trying to win this in regulation without going to extra innings. And Jason Kipnis will be the batter as Damon has a bloop single.
I want to look and see on Hanahan here. He's just taken off. He's not running very hard. There's 2 outs, but I don't think he could have got to 3rd anyway. But with 2 outs now, he's going to be trying to score, so you better get a very good secondary lead on a base hit, because Steve Smith is going to send you home no matter what here in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs.
Jason Kipnis 0 for 4 tonight, 1 for 12 in the series.
But had a great series. We remember back in Chicago in his hometown. Let's pretend you're back in Chicago.
Hector Santiago got the first 2 outs in the inning. And now back-to-back singles. And it's outside ball 1 to Jason Kipnis. There's a strike to the outside corner. Jason 0 for 2 tonight with a runner in scoring position, but came in batting .385 with a runner in scoring position. And the 1-1. Maybe. Nope. Time called. Fouled the other way, out of play. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Jack Hanahan, the winning run at second base. And the 1-2 to Kipnis. Flipped up in the air, foul. Beckner, or rather Morel, can't get to it.
New piece of lumber. Bat boy told him that's all right. That bat had no hits in it. Here's one that does. Got inside on him with a fastball. You know, you're protecting out there. You're probably in the back of your mind thinking breaking ball away. But you got to protect that fastball in. Santiago already hung Hanahan a breaking ball 0-2.
There's a fly ball deep center. Diaza back. He's there. He'll make the catch, and we're going to extra innings here tonight, tied at 3. Jack Link's beef jerky all season long. Jack Link's, feed your wild side.
All right, for extra innings, this will be the third time the White Sox have been in extra innings. They're 0-2. Indians, this is their 5th game. They're 1-3.
Chris Perez coming on to work the 10th. Nick Hagedorn with a 1-2-3 ninth. Paul Konerko leading it off. Takes a slider for strike one. He's 1 for 4 on the night is Konerko. Almost hit him. Missing inside with it, and it's a ball and a strike.
Well, almost got a piece of the jersey, didn't it?
Yeah, very close. Shot for the outside corner, but came up empty, and it's 2-1. Boston leading Kansas City 4-3. They're in the 5th at Kauffman. Yankees lead Tampa 4-3. They're in the 8th in the Bronx. Texas about to close out a 10-3 win over Baltimore. There's a strike. 2-2. Twins still shutting out the Angels 5-0. They're in the 6th inning at Target Field. The 2-2. Konerko pops it up foul. That'll find the seats. If the Angels don't score tonight, and granted, they're only in the 6th inning, but that would be the 7th time already this year that they have been shut out. 2-2. In the hole and a base hit for Paul Konerko. So the White Sox get their leadoff man aboard here in the 10th. They'll get a pinch runner now for Konerko as Brent Lillibridge comes into the ballgame.
Well, there's their start to this 10th inning. You remember there was a little something when we left Chicago on the save that Perez had on his last out with Rios.
Yep.
Rios thought he was yelling at him, and Perez said, "No, I'm not. I was just, I do that after every save." Well, he's coming up next, and Chicago would love to do something here.
Ball one to Pierzynski, who is 1 for 4 on the night with a couple of runs batted in. Popped him up. Foul territory. Hanahan should have a play. He's over near the tarp. And then he makes the grab. 1 down. This is last week in Chicago. Perez got Rios to ground out to end the game.
There you go. Now they're going to face each other again. That was the game, and they started chirping. So there'll be some concentration going on here.
Fastball in there for strike one.
Lillibridge has stolen 7 bases over there. He's been caught 1 time. Perez really quick to the dish.
Just over the head of Kipnis. Line drive in the alley. Lillibridge around second. On his way to third. He's going to score. Rios on his way to third, and he'll go in sliding with an RBI triple. So Alex Rios delivers for Chicago, and they have a 4-3 lead.
Well, back comes Rios now. He's getting his say. And I mean a low fastball, a tracer. He hits into the alley in right center field. It scoots all the way to the wall. Lillibridge going to come around third. No problem for him to score. Rios goes into third base. So there you go. Round two goes to Rios.
Infield in for the Indians with Alexei Ramirez at the plate. And a pitch out, nothing doing. Down low, 2-0. Two and one to count with Rios at third base and one out here in the bottom of the 10th. And a breaking ball fouled back by Alexei Ramirez. Kosuke Fukudome has moved to the on-deck circle to bat for Diane Viciedo. Perez with the 2-2. Back out of play.
Big run out there for the White Sox. They'd love to have one more. And of course, Perez would love to have a strikeout or a ball hit at one of his infielders.
Full count. The payoff pitch. Hit on the ground to second. Kipnis going to come home with a throw. Not in time. Murillo scores. And it's a 5-3 Chicago lead.
Well, the minute he had to go to his left, that makes it a tough play because he's backpedaling and you got to try and get something on the throw, although it was close. Rios gets the foot in on the plate. They get their insurance run home, and you can see it was tough to make a throw and get anything on it. So they get their insurance run and they don't get an out.
Fukudome, first ball swinging, pops it to center. Michael Brantley makes the catch, 2 down. And I'll bring up Brent Morello for 4 on the night. Checks on a ball down low. In the bottom of the 10th, the Indians will have Asdrubal Cabrera, Carlos Santana, and Shelley Duncan coming up. I wonder if Matt Thornton will be coming on to try and close it for Chicago.
You would think so.
Runner goes. Called strike, throw down, not in time. And Alexei Ramirez has his second stolen base of the year.
I forgot about that. They got Addison Reed out there.
Morel strikes out. That ends the top half of the 10th. But the White Sox take a 5-3 lead. We'll see if the Indians can rally yet again when we come back. Five-3 White Sox go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Addison Reed coming on to pitch now for Chicago. His 13th appearance of the year, 12 strikeouts, just 3 walks in his 9 innings of work.
Yes, 12 straight appearances without allowing a run. It's the longest streak for a Sox rookie reliever since 1921. It's tied with Sergio Santos, who they traded to the Blue Jays, as a matter of fact.
Well, with the right-hander now into the game, you've got Cabrera, Santana, and then potentially Travis Hafner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they're down 2. They did get that insurance run home, so the young man, Addison Reed, who was in the minor leagues last year, he has a good arm. He throws in the mid-90s. And this is a guy that, you know what, being that he is a rookie and young, he could be their eventual closer as well.
Sure.
You know, given that he gets a little experience down the road. There's 95. Cabrera thought that ball was a little upstairs.
Addison Reed delivers. That is up high. 1-1. That up to 97. Almost hit him. And it's 2-1. You need a base runner to get that tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 10th.
Yes, you do.
Popped out of play. 2-2. Cabrera with a 7-game hitting streak coming in, but 0 for 3 tonight with the walk that came back in the 8th inning. Got him looking. So Addison Reed strikes out Cabrera, 1 down here in the 10th. Carlos Santana now coming up. Santana has walked twice He has singled, doubled, and driven in 2 runs. We've got the series finale tomorrow night at 7 on STO. Boy, he took a mighty cut.
Yeah, mighty cut at a 97. It had a good swing, but that was upstairs. Tough to get on top of it.
Good matchup tomorrow night. Genmar Gomez for the Indians, who's pitched so well, and Jake Peavy, who's been dynamite for Chicago.
Looking forward to that matchup.
Hope to see you down here for the series finale. Just 11,304 in attendance here tonight. That's outside a ball and 2 strikes. Addison Reed ready with a 1-2. Up and in. And there is Travis Hafner, who has just now come into the on-deck circle. Pop back out of play. Santana staying alive. Fouled back again. Boy, Santana's having a heck of an at-bat here. Just noticed here that so far in his outings on the road, the opposition is now 0 for 16 against Addison Reed. 8th pitch of the at-bat. There's a ball pretty well hit to deep left. Back is Fukudome, and he'll make the catch on the front edge of the warning track. 2 down. So Travis Hafner will pinch hit here in the bottom of the 10th with 2 down and the bases empty.
This is only the 3rd pinch hit appearance for the Indians this year, and Hafner's first.
Reed deals. Hafner takes a strike. There's a ball fouled out of play. And the 0-2 is swung out and missed. So Addison Reed comes in and retires the side 1-2-3 to get the save. And the White Sox stop their 3-game losing streak with a hard-earned 5-3 win over the Indians here tonight. That ends the Indians' 3-game win streak. And so the Tribe is now 17-12 on the year, still tops in the American League Central Division. The White Sox are now 14-17 on the season. The winner is Hector Santiago. The loser is Chris Perez. And, of course, Addison Reed will get the save. So it's time now for our play of the game, brought to you by Key Bank, the home of relationship rewards. Earn reward points, redeem for gifts.
Well, a matchup today. Chris Perez won this matchup back in Chicago, but today Alex Rios does the damage, hitting a triple into right center field, driving in Lillibridge's a go-ahead run in the 10th. They were able to add Rios at home plate on another play, or ground out to the infield. That is going to be our Key Bank key play of the game.
So it's a 5-3 final as the White Sox win it. We'll be back with the Conrad's postgame show coming up next.